Hi, welcome back to Focal Point AFR Talk. 888-589-8840 is the number to call. Here's that story about Oprah Winfrey. The Queen of Talk, Oprah Winfrey, reportedly declined a White House invitation last summer for a meeting aimed at helping President Barack Obama sell his signature health care law to the American public. According to the New York Post, Obama's senior advisor Valerie Jarrett phoned Oprah and asked her to join a handful of other celebrities to meet with the president and discuss how they could generate publicity for his landmark healthcare program. The Queen of Talk reportedly refused. One of her closest advisors said Oprah said she didn't have the time or inclination to go. Quote, "It wasn't like she had to think it over. It was an immediate, flat-out, unequivocal no." The Post reports Oprah sent a low-level representative in her place, which was reportedly taken as an insult. Now, the backstory here, according to The Blaze, is that Oprah was tight with Obama, but she and Michelle apparently have developed a pretty frosty relationship for one reason or another. And Oprah at one time was planning to make her unique access to the White House part of her new network. But she sort of got frozen out by the Obamas. It dawned on Oprah that the Obamas had no intention, absolutely no intention, of keeping their word and bringing her into their confidence, their inner circle. So she has struck back by banning the Obamas from her empire. Now, before we go to the phones, here's a little factoid. Here's our Fisher factoid of the day. You're going to love this. More people, I am serious. I arf you not, more people have successfully signed up to move to Mars than have signed up for health insurance under Obamacare. I am not kidding. More people have actually completed an online application to journey to Mars than have successfully signed in to the White House website for health reform exchanges. This, according to the Daily Mail, 202,586 individuals have successfully signed up for the Mars One Colony Project to populate the red planet as soon as the technology becomes available. I understand a lot of voters in Arizona are hoping that John McCain is one of those 202,586 individuals. Anyway, by comparison, the analytics from the analytics firm Compete.com found that only 36,000 have registered for Obamacare via the official government site. Now, the government's saying, no, it's much better than that. It's 51,000. So anyway, there you go. More people have signed up to fly to Mars than have enrolled in Obamacare. That is your Fisher factoid of the day. 203,000 people have actually completed an online application to live on Mars. And only 51,000 at the best estimates, most optimistic estimates have actually signed up for health care on Obamacare. 712 people in Vermont have successfully enrolled. They spent $9 million advertising that. Alaska is still at zero, as in nada, as in zilch, as in no signups whatsoever. New York has zero Obamacare enrollments. Here we are 3 weeks into this thing. Thousands of people have signed up for Obamacare, but the system is locking out their applications. Not one person in the state of New York. This is the second most populous state, I believe, in the country, unless Texas is ahead of it. And they haven't even had one single solitary person get health insurance through Obamacare. 300,000 Floridians just had their health insurance canceled by Florida Blue because the policies are no longer in compliance with the mandates of Obamacare. There are about 16 to 19 million people that are not self-insured, but they get individual plans. They don't get insurance through their employer, so they're on the individual market. And Florida Blue just terminated 80% of those people. 80% of them just gone. They got their cancellation, so they don't have any insurance whatsoever. And the upshot of it is that here's going to be the striking thing. More people are going to wind up losing their insurance than getting insurance through Obamacare. That's going to be the ultimate tragedy. More people are going to wind up losing insurance than getting insurance under Obamacare. Well, let's go to the phones. Let's start with James, Midway Park, North Carolina. James, welcome to Focal Point. What's on your mind?
Good afternoon. I just want to say, from day one, I've been praying that the Lord will expose this mess for what it is. And let's face it, it's nothing but a Ponzi scheme, an extortion game run by a third-rate flim-flam man. And I'm so glad that people ain't falling for it, because all it is going to be a sneaky way of stealing their money. And you ain't going to get no service for it.
Well, it's interesting. I appreciate the call, James. Thank you for that. And we talked about this. This is just a massive social, crony socialism. We saw that Obama farmed out the design of this website to the woman that designed his campaign website. He didn't put it out for a bid. So he sent all this money, who knows how many millions of dollars, to a buddy of his, a female buddy who designed his campaign website. Then he outsourced the building of the website to a firm in Canada. Remember when President Obama was all over American companies for outsourcing jobs and how unpatriotic and un-American that was? Well, he outsourced the building of this website to a company in Canada, gave him $634 million to do this thing. And then apparently, here's an interesting little tidbit from Daily Caller, actually from Reuters, that apparently the Obama administration knew that this thing was going to be a failure before it rolled out. The British multinational in charge of processing Obamacare paper applications received a hefty contract boost just days before healthcare.gov's disastrous rollout, a sign that the Obama administration may have expected serious problems with the website. The Business of Federal Technology, FCW, reports that on September 26, remember rollout was October 1, on September 26, the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, that's the outfit, the federal agency running this whole thing, increased their planned payout to Serco's U.S. subsidiary by 75%, adding an extra $87 million to the $114 million promised for processing enrollment applications. So here's Obama outsourcing. That's one part of this. He's outsourcing this to the UK. And it's a $201 million contract, and that money's winding up in the pockets of a company that's based in the UK. So he's leading this outsourcing brigade. But this was the company that was going to process the paper applications. And so when the Obama administration sends them another $87 million, almost doubled their investment, they indicate they knew this thing was going to be a disaster. People were going to have to enroll using paper and pencil. So let's pay the Brits to do that for us. Let's go back to the phones. Let's go to Terry in New Albany, Mississippi. Terry, welcome to Focal Point. What's on your mind?
Yes, my thought is it's not just the computer glitches that's causing the problem. People are looking at the price of the premiums and the deductibles, and they're saying, "Hey, I cannot afford this." And you can fool people a little bit, but when reality strikes people, they will begin to say, "Hey, this is not for me." And I'm hoping this thing, because it falls on its own weight, because it's not good for the public and the American people and our healthcare system at large. And so, I think here's the big problem is they didn't count on people wising up and seeing exactly what it was going to cost. And, they live in that land of head up in the air in the sky and not in reality of let's give it all and just make the world kumbaya. Let's all get together and sing together and make this world so sweet and lovely. But they don't deal with reality of what's going on in life. And so here's the problem. I think it's going to be the big problem with Obamacare is getting it to work, because now it's getting down to where people are realizing, hey, this thing is not going to work for me.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate the call, Terry, and you're exactly right on the money. I'm looking at a story here from the Washington Examiner. Young people in 45 states, remember there's only 57 states in the country, according to Obama, and young people in 45 of those 57 states are going to see their health insurance premiums increase under Obamacare because the law relies on the money they pay into the system to offset the cost of caring for older enrollees. Virginia leads the pack. Individuals age 27 and under will see their health insurance premiums jump, listen to this, by 252.5%. Virginians under the age of 50 will see their premiums jump by an even greater percentage, going from $228 to $991. That's 4 times. Their premiums are going up 400%. So just amazing to me. And to our last caller, one of the things that was the way this website was designed, it was designed so that you had to set up an account and give the government all this information before you got to price insurance policies, because they knew what our last caller was saying. The people that built this thing knew that if people looked at what they were actually going to have to pay, the sticker shock would be such they would never set up an account. They would never give the government any of that information. And now they're finding out that it's just as bad as everybody's been saying. All right, last call of the hour. Let's go to John, Delphi, Indiana, or Delphi, Indiana. John, welcome. What's on your mind? Got about 30 seconds.
Okay, Brian. What I needed to say is to remind people of the primary when our vice president and president were on the same stage, and when our vice president declared that there was no need to have an unskilled person in the office of the White House because they don't have on-the-job training. And I'm wondering if people do remember that.
Oh, so talking about the fact that President Obama was going to have to learn the job kind of on the fly, was that the idea?
That's the idea.
Yeah. Well, and we're seeing what you get when you have somebody that's never exercised ever executive authority, has no idea what he's doing. Focal Point AFR Talk. Thanks for the call, John. We'll be back after the news. Stay with us. Focal Point AFR Talk.